Rev up your engines! Okay, we got a classic today. A 95 F-150 that the guy's completely done over. Back in the day when men were men and trucks were trucks, Ford still makes 90% of their profit on the F-150 line. They make about 10 grand for each one they sold, and they sell a whole bunch of the F-150 lines. And this thing still runs great, which is a good reason to tell people. You look at the price of a new F-150 loaded, some of them are $90,000. Maybe do what this guy did and get an old beat up one and fix it up like he has. All right, you might think, my God, he spent a fortune on this thing. He's got 6 grand in this thing. He bought it for only 1,500 bucks ages ago, and he's done it over. Now, he's done it himself, and he did a good job, but look at that. Something that looks like this, and he's got 6 grand in it. I mean, now, he looked all around. The bed was crap. This bed came from, I believe, Georgia, from down south. They made so many of these things. You're going to get parts all over the place. And check it out. This is a real pickup truck. Look at the size of that bed. This isn't a toy with a little short bed. It's a real work bed. Why not fix an old one? Now, after this video is done and edited, I'm sure the guy's going to get a million calls from people who will want to buy the truck from you. I should have told you, well, you know, he's got 50 grand in this truck. Somebody would offer him 50 grand. I can guarantee you they would, because they like classic trucks. But be that as it may, that's all he's got in this thing, 5 grand. Still an amazing truck. Why? Because Ford makes so many of these, you can get parts anywhere. What he's got here, the only thing he's done, he took the engine apart and put new rod bearings. The rod bearings aren't that bad. This is the part that goes in the block, and then the rod's inside here, so it lubricates them. There's oil inside here, and they're really not in all that bad shape, but everything was still repairable. Parts are still available, and when we look under the hood, okay, it's a nice V8 engine. One of the best they ever made. Being a 95 is still electronic fuel injection. It's not like you gotta mess with the carburetor. And being a push rod engine, they can last basically forever. They have all the main electronics. As you can see, it has a distributor to make spark. They last a really long time. They're very easy to work on, and parts are totally available. You can see he's replaced the air conditioning compressor, but you can still get new parts for these things, and they are not all that expensive. Even Ford got cheap. It's a 95. Yes, they even had plastic radiators back then, because it's cheaper to make plastic radiators. Of course, made out of aluminum, and he's done the whole front over. Look at that chrome. Now, isn't that impressive? I mean, that's what trucks are supposed to look like. And you know what it is? It's real chrome on metal. Look, it's not plastic. All right, so let's start this thing up. Still got the original transmission and everything. Sounds like a Ford V8, all right. Nice V8 rumble. It does have airbags, believe it or not. I don't know if I trust him now. He did upgrade the sound system. Put some big amps in it. Because he didn't like the crappy radio, but it still has AC. It still works. Put some nice insulation on here, and he's done these seats over. We got them at Rock Auto, put them on the shelf. Look, they really look nice. That's the advantage. We're getting an F-150. They made so many. They sold so many. He got the whole bed from Georgia, from down south, so they don't rot. These things are eminent rebuildable for low price, including what he bought this thing for. He's got 5 grand in this thing. For a beautiful truck like this, you could buy like 12 or 13 of these, or what he's got in it, for one brand new one. And let me tell you, I can guarantee you this will outlast the new ones, because pushrod engine, simpler. They generally last a lot longer. Down in the middle where it's lubricated with oil, not on the very top where every time you start it, the overhead cams start up there, have a little bit of wear on them. Now, what I got against this is what you can't bypass the way they build them. My grandfather called it a plumber's nightmare. This one does have a lot of anti-pollution equipment on that they didn't used to have. But it's a 95. It's old. Almost every state it is grandfathered in, and it does not have emissions inspecting, even on the East Coast. You get the one advantage. You get an old vehicle like this, and you fix it all up. You don't have to deal with any of that crap. Yeah, they were simpler too, so they were easier to fix. But you don't have to deal with any of it because they're grandfathered in. Normally on one of these northern trucks, you're going to expect the bottom to be rotting away. But you can see, he's done it all over, and he's used special paint all over to keep it from rotting and stuff. This is a four-wheel drive truck too. This isn't even a basic truck. This is their top of the line F-150 back in those days. The only problem he's having is these twin I-beam suspensions are really hard to align, and he can't find anybody that knows how to align them anymore because it's such an antique design. Now he's got so tired of people not doing it right, he's gotten his own parts for adjusting the front end, and he does it using his phone with a protractor and just a yardstick to measure stuff, and he's got it pretty close. Most of these guys today don't even know what the stuff is. What's that, they'd say. Now, of course, trucks are gas hogs. He says on the highway it gets about 15 miles a gallon. But let's put on our thinking caps, okay? This is a 95. If you saw the video I made with the brand new 2023 Toyota Tundra, they gave up with the V8. They went to a V6 twin turbo, and the one that the guy brought me, hybrid extra. Now, it's not a strong hybrid, it's a mild hybrid, but still, it's hybrid, right? He got 19 miles a gallon. Okay, 95, 2023. That's a long time. And if all they could do is a V8, dump it down to a twin turbo 6 with hybrid, and only get 2 miles a gallon better on a highway, I gotta say something. Man alive, you engineers, you got your heads up something. You think after all those years you could get phenomenal, but you can't if you have a heavy truck. This is a heavy truck. The Toyota Tundra is a heavy truck. Whether it's got a V8 or a V6, it is still a heavy truck. And the fact that this gets only a few miles a gallon less than all that technology that they threw in, and this is still all original and going strong from 95. Four-wheel drive system is the way they used to make them. Check it out. There it is. There's the shift lever, right? So you can change four-wheel low, four-wheel high, neutral, right? There it is. Your hand operates it. The computer module went bad. And on the Ford, the computer modules go bad all the time in the late model ones, right? Or the computer didn't sense it right. Or the shaft, the motor's not strong enough, it broke. Now you got to replace the whole thing. We don't know what's wrong with it. It's just stuck in four-wheel drive, right? It's so much technology. This is so simple. It's either shoved in or it's pulled out, right? It's pretty simple to do. I don't know. I guess people are so lazy. You'd think there would be guys out there that would still want a system like this because it's foolproof, right? It's not, oh, you just get in and push a button and away you go, right? Well, the push button one's brake. It's still going down the road, and it probably will be going down the road forever the way he takes care of it. It's not going to rot away. He sealed it all. Now, he did one thing that if you're ever going to do one of these, I advise doing. He got rid of those stupid automatic hubs and has manual lockers. So he locks them in, he locks them out by hand. If you're in that much of a hurry that you got to push a button, you can't get out and turn them on, you're in too much of a hurry. Okay, so this is a serious four-wheel drive vehicle. This isn't for driving your kids to the soccer match. I guess that's the problem. Back then, men were men and trucks were truck. Well, I guess trucks aren't trucks anymore and men aren't men anymore either. What's happening to this world? Let's take it for a spin. See if I'm gonna eat my words or not. It's got a backup camera, of course. He added the backup camera they didn't have in 95, just like these nice dash. Look, dash designs. It looks nice. And we go over the bump with no problems at all. Look, the original sliding window. It's still here. Here we go. Let's see how this thing can go. Hey, hey, hey. This is before traction control, baby. You can do burnouts in it. Truthfully, I would rather have this than the $80,000 new one. Knowing how long it'd last, how long I can fix it all I wanted, and it's got more class anyways. So there it is, a beautiful F-150 XLT. Guy did all the work himself. He's only got $5 grand in this beautiful truck. It's gonna have tons of life left in it. Anything, as he says, can be fixed cheaply. The parts are cheap. You look around, there's so many aftermarket parts for these things, and I can guarantee you, this thing is going to be rolling down the road when those new $80,000, $90,000 ones start falling apart because the electronics break or they're going to rust out. The transmission's going to go out, those ridiculous 10-speed automatics that cost a fortune. Then people would just junk the things. If you can find a truck like this, hey, maybe you'll offer them a bunch of money for it and he'll sell it to you. Who knows? But I don't think so. It's his project, and it seems to me the way he was talking to me that this is the last project he's going to do. So I don't think he's going to sell it to anybody. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.